Ladies and gentlemen, I've been playing Mafia 3 for 3 straight days. Every day that I've played Mafia 3, I've played the game for around 6 hours or more. Now, here's the deal with Mafia 3, okay? It's like a love-hate relationship for me. The first day and 2 days, I loved the game. Because it was an extended intro, where you get introduced to the characters, then you start recruiting the mob bosses, which is a lot of fun. And finally, then you open up to the district open world gameplay, and I started doing that. So by the end of Saturday, I was having a ton of fun with the game, alright? Yesterday, sadly, the whole thing flipped on its head. Because...
oh my god, excuse me.
Because what I discovered, ladies and gentlemen, was that this game, once it gets to the open world portion, basically becomes an insanely repetitive grind. The way that it works is that there's 6 districts that you need to take over, okay? And once you take over a district, you can assign it to one of your under bosses, and you get these perks and everything for doing that. But to take over a district, you have to do incredibly repetitive gameplay of this type. You have to assassinate certain targets, you have to destroy enough contraband and or steal enough money to do enough damage to that particular racket in that district. You then eventually will have to do interrogate some informants as well. And once you do enough, it'll trigger a kind of boss where you have to kill a boss. Once the boss is dead, you gotta do it all again, because you have to do this twice for each district. And then finally, a kind of end boss is unlocked, and it's a unique mission to assassinate the end boss that triggers. So really, there's 6 bosses in the game. Think Mega Man, right? There's a select screen of, what, 6, 8 characters? There's 6 end bosses you have to kill in order to progress to the end of the game. Now, in addition to that, there's also some side content for each underboss of yours that you recruit, okay? So that's cool that you can maybe mix it up and do that. But the bottom line is, once you get to this portion of the game, it's the same thing over and over and over. And boy, if I have ever seen padding of a game, boy, does it pad the length of this game. Because the bottom line is, if they cut out all of this repetitive gameplay in the middle of the game that quite honestly doesn't add to it at all, it just makes it feel like a grind, this game would probably be done between 10 to 12 hours. But it would be 10 to 12 hours of a high. You'd be always, all story-based stuff, character development, all kinds of that stuff versus grind. So, I don't know. Right now, I'm kind of on the fence about this game. I really am. I'm divided. There's things about this game that I absolutely am loving. The soundtrack, the story, the characters. And then, some of the missions as well. Some of the boss missions have been really fun. But then, you gotta pair that with the fact that it's boring when it comes to this repetitive, required grind. You know what I mean? I hope I can finish it today. I don't know if I can. I don't know. We'll have to see. If I don't finish it today, sadly, I hate to say this, it's gonna have to wait. Okay? It's gonna have to wait because I've got Gears of War 4 and WWE. Later this week, I got the PlayStation VR. I got all this stuff that I want to cover as it's new, and after playing this entire game all weekend, I'll be honest, I kind of just want it to be over with, I think that the game is poorly paced with all this kind of grinding stuff in the middle, and that it should have ended hours ago, you know what I mean? There was a positive update in regards to the PlayStation VR, okay, if you're not aware. A fan of mine contacted me late last week, and he said, hey, Phil, I have a pair of PS Move controllers. And I don't want them anymore. I'll donate them to you if you're going to use them with the PSVR, because I heard you say that you weren't going to buy them again. And I responded to him, and I was like, yeah, dude, honestly, I got so burned buying those stupid things back, when they were new for the PS3. There were so few games that actually utilized those things that I have no desire, and actually, I'm morally against buying these fucking PS Move controllers again and giving Sony more of my money for them. I am. Okay? And he said, well, I'll donate them. So I'm supposed to get, a set of PS Move controllers in the mail this week. I hope so. I hope they show up and that they're in time for the coverage of the PSVR. We'll see, alright? We'll see what happens with that, and I'll let you know another update later in the week. So that could be fun, trying it with both the regular controller and with the PS Move controller and kind of comparing the experiences. So when I get them, and if they work and all that, I will give the fan a shout-out. He actually said, he wouldn't be against me giving him a shout-out, but I don't want to say anything until they actually show up, because, sadly, over the years, I get more skeptical. Just because someone said they're going to send something doesn't mean they actually are, or, it could be that it's a trick. Who knows? We'll see what happens, okay?